asking, Yaakov and Esav had the same voice. And Esav fooled Yitzchak into thinking that he was a tzaddik. Okay? But when Yaakov pretended to be Esav, to get the blessings, he mentioned HaShem. Yitzchak became suspicious because Esav never mentioned HaShem. Shouldn't the fact that Esav would never mention or acknowledge Hashem be an indicator to Yitzchak that he wasn't really a tzaddik? To be in the mind of Yitzchak, you have to be Yitzchak. But I can tell you that the din from Shamayim, was for it to be this way. Where Yitzchak saw Esav from a different perspective than Rivka saw Esav. And this was a few reasons for it. Number one, Yitzchak grew up in a completely frum house his whole life. His father is the Gdol Ador, Avraham Avinu. His mom is Sarah Imenu, the Gdolah Adorah. She's the biggest, most righteous woman that ever lived. So that's his parents. All he sees is Kedusha all day, all night. All he sees is new Baalei Tshuva coming in and becoming big tzaddikim. All he sees is, holiness. Rivka, on the other hand, she grew up around Reshaim. She grew up against Betuel. Her father was a Rasha, murderer. Also did a lot of ugly things with other beings. In Lavan, the murderer, the gangster. That's who she grew up with. Her mom, the Midrash says, her mom was a filthy human being. So she grew up around horrible people, but yet she stayed holy. But that doesn't mean she was a fool. Opposite. Because she was so righteous and so smart, she saw everybody for who they really were, and she knew that Esav was playing a game on Yitzchak, but Yitzchak couldn't see it. Why? Because he was like the Chassid of all Chassidim. He saw the best in everybody, and Esav only showed him good. Esav never showed him killing people. Esav showed him the opposite, where he would come to his father and say, Abba, I just got some salt. Do I have to give maaser on the salt? Do I have to get a tithe on the salt? Now everybody knows that you don't have to give a tithe on salt. But Esav pretended to be so righteous that he said, look, I'm so precise with the halachot that I want to even give maaser, the tithe on salt. And all types of similar things. So to do that, to pretend, you don't have to mention Hashem. You don't have to mention Hashem. You just have to pretend like you're smart. There's many people that pretend like they're smart all the time. I mean, you could actually see it if you read comments sometimes on my YouTube channel. You read comments, sometimes you'll see people that pretend to be smart. But the only thing they're doing is they're just showing that they're obnoxious. Where instead of watching the lecture, they determine what the lecture is about by the title, and they decide to give you a whole write-up of what they think. So this is a person that's pretending to be smart, because if he was smart, he wouldn't do such a thing. He would actually watch the lecture and know that there's more to a book than just its cover. But he's so obsessed with himself that he wants to give you his thoughts and his opinions, or her thoughts or her opinions. And many people are like that, unfortunately. There are many people that are pretenders. They're pretenders like Esav, but they sound like Yaakov. Where you have the people that are simply wicked, but they look righteous. That's why the verse says, Akol kol Yaakov, vayadayim yedei Esav. The voice is the voice of Yaakov, but the hands are the hands of Esav. Meaning that sometimes somebody sounds like Yaakov, but in reality their actions are ugly like Esav's. So this is many times in people that just portray hate for no reason. Like there's one menuval that pretends to be a Talmid Chacham, and he decided that his life mission is to go and desecrate different Talmidei Chachamim, particularly in this case the Tanya, the Baal Tanya, the one that started Chabad. Now, he's writing all types of things about the Tanya. He says, no, see over here, he said certain things, and it's heresy. Tanya is a heretic, he says. What a Rasha Merusha, oy lo ve'oy le'olamo. woe to him and woe to his world, this fool, this idiot. To say that the Tanya was a heretic, what an idiot, what a menuval. But if you actually look at this guy, what do you see? You see a bunch of other people following him because he says he's a rabbi, he says he did research, he uses all types of sentences from the Tanya, and he tells you this is what they mean and this is what they don't mean, and he gives you his manipulated interpretations, only to show, what is he trying to do? He's saying, no, the Tanya is bad and I'm good. What is he trying to do? He's trying to build himself a stage. First and foremost, if this menuval is watching or any of his followers are watching, if the Gdolei Ador, like Rav Ovadia, like the Stipler Gaon, like many of the giants even outside of Chabad, never said a single word about such a thing, never said anything like that about the Tanya, and in fact celebrated the Tanya as Torah, said that it's Kodesh Kodeshim, and this menuval, this despicable person from the year 5781, 2020 is going to come and say, oh, he's a kofar, he's a heretic. Only an idiot would follow such words. And only an idiot will actually publicize such words. Why? Because if the Gdolei Ador did not say it, who are you? Who are you to say such a thing? Who are you? Now, if you're going to go and you're going to say that someone today that's a nobody is a heretic because he clearly says there are things that are heretical, that's a different story. But to go say a Gadol Ador like the Tanya is heretic, who do you think you are? The Gemara in Masechet Avodah Zarah says such people that desecrate the Chachamim, en trufa lemakato, there's no cure to their ailment. And I'm telling this to some of my own followers that I know brought this to my attention, and I'm hoping you stopped it and you're throwing all this garbage out. Why? Because if you publicize this information, it desecrates big Gdolei Ador from the past. I'm telling you, the amount of damage that's going to come to your life will not have a cure. It will not have a cure. Why? Because this Rasha that's doing it, Akol Kol Yaakov Yadayim Yedei ESAV. He sounds like Yaakov, but what he's doing is the hands of ESAV. You want to help Am Yisrael? You help Am Yisrael do TeShuva. You help them keep Shabbat. 80% of Am Yisrael don't keep Shabbat. You help Am Yisrael stop wasting seed. Almost everybody wastes seed. You help Am Yisrael learn about brachot. Most people don't even know brachot. You help Am Yisrael about things that are relevant, not about something that you have an opinion on that nobody in the world agrees with. And you're going to say, no, but the Gaon Vilna was against Chassidut. The way they implemented it, not the teaching itself. To manipulate the words of the even the mitnagdim, like the Gaon Vilna, is wrong. But that's what happens when people are ignorant and they look at the title of rabbi as if it's a Moshe Rabbeinu, and people are making a mistake. They go against the Gdolim. They sound like Yaakov, but their hands are hands of ESAV. So I highly, highly recommend anyone that's going to say anything bad about any of the Gdolei Ador should think about it 1,000 times, and the only way you could ever say it is if you have a asmachta from a Gadol Ador. Only a Gadol Ador can say it. You can't say it. Why? You say it, you're putting yourself in trouble. It's a very big mistake. The Gemara, I'm telling you, says such horrible things of what happens to such people in this world and the next. Highly, highly recommend. There's a whole website that started doing the stupid things. And there's one particular woman, Shem Yishmo, what she's bringing to our life. She is like highlighting this stuff. All day she publicizes this garbage. On the internet, to desecrating the Chachamim, but in the name of righteousness, she thinks she's a tzaddiket, menuvelet, that's all she is. Stupid is all she is. Desecrating the Chachamim like that. What are you listening to? This yo-yo, this idiot that says that the Gdolim are heretics? Who do you think he is? You think he's bigger than the Gdolim that we had walking on earth today? If a Gadol Ador today, if the Rav Kanievsky doesn't say it, who are you to say it? You have to understand, when I go say things about different Reshaim like Dror Kasuto and Manis Friedman, all that, I have permission to say it from the Torah Kedosha itself. I have Psak Halakha to do it. I have Rabbanim and Talmidei Chachamim tell me to do it. It's not my own mind. To go against a Gadol Ador, you're better off committing suicide than doing such a thing. It's such a demented way of looking at things. And I'm telling you, I don't know who these people are. I don't have a personal relationship with them. And hence the reason why I'm not even mentioning their names. Don't ask me who they are. Whoever it is knows who they are. Whoever it is knows who they are. Stop it. You're going to ruin your life. I'm telling you, I don't even know if there's tshuva for what you've already done. What I recommend is you delete every single post you've ever made and simply don't talk permanently. Just be quiet. All you say is what Torah says from now on. That's how bad it is. I advised a couple of people to stop it, and I don't know if they listened or they didn't. And I'm telling you this because HaKadosh Baruch Hu reminded me of this from this questions for some reason. To go back to your question and get myself to calm down a little bit from all the danger that people put themselves in. Listen, Yaakov Avinu was Kodesh Kodeshim, was always in the yeshiva. Always talked about BeEzrat Hashem, always said Baruch Hashem. ESAV, on the other hand, pretended to be tzaddik. So he talked about halachot, but didn't really care about Hashem. Sometimes you have people, they learn halachot all day, but they have no emunah whatsoever. Why? Because it's easy to learn halachot. It's like a robot. You learn, it's memorization. Memorization, A, B, C, D, E. There's not, learning halachot, just yes, no, doesn't take much of a genius to do. Learning the shelot v'tshuvot and learning who, what, when, and how it got to, that's a different story. That's much higher level. But ESAV was pretending to be smart. So it doesn't mean that he was talking about Hashem all the time. It just means that he was trying to make it seem as if he was very particular about mitzvot. But it was obvious that this was him talking about Hashem was not often, because that's what the Midrash Rabbah says. The Midrash Rabbah says that as soon as Yaakov said BeEzrat Hashem, that's the reason why I was able to hunt these animals so quickly. Yitzhak was taken back. Hold on a second. Esav, he tells me he's a rationalist. He tells me yes, no, allowed, not allowed. Never talks about emunah, bitachon, BeEzrat Hashem, nothing like that. So that got Yitzhak off guard. Why? He says it doesn't say it. But then he said, hold on a second, let me see. And he feels his hands. And he says, oh, that's the hands of Esav. So Yitzhak, what did Yitzhak do? He can't see. But also, not only that he can't see physically, his prophecy didn't work at that moment because HaKadosh Baruch Hu stopped it.
B'Shem Hashem Na'aseh V'Natzliach, we're very excited to offer you the new BeEzrat Hashem app 3.0. It's a newer, faster app full of Torah, lots of Kedusha by the SHIURim that we do, myself, Rabbi Efraim, Rav Chaim, where you'll have also newer features where you're able to use the app while you're using other applications on your phone. You'll be able to share the lectures directly from the app. You'll be able to donate online and support our Cube and our Torah work that we're doing. And the most exciting feature is that you'll be able to actually ask questions directly on the app and get answers from the rabbis directly from the app. This is something unprecedented, and Baruch Hashem will be able to offer it. Thank you again for all of your support. Check it out. Make sure you have the kosher Torah that will re-energize your neshama each and every single day. Call to B'chav Atzlacha.